The Eye of the Sahara. The real Atlantis, discovered. For centuries, the story of Atlantis has been dismissed as a mere myth, a philosophical allegory created by Plato over 2,000 years ago. We were told to look for a sunken island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, a kingdom swallowed by the waves in a single day and night of misfortune. But what if we have been looking in the wrong place? What if Atlantis didn't sink into the ocean, but was left high and dry in the middle of the world's largest desert? In the desolate landscape of Mauritania, there exists a geological anomaly so massive it can only be fully appreciated from space. It is called the Richat Structure, or more commonly, the Eye of the Sahara. When you compare the measurements and descriptions provided by Plato to the actual dimensions of the Eye of the Sahara, the similarities are not just coincidental, they are staggering. Plato described Atlantis as a series of concentric rings, 3 of water and 2 of land, with a specific diameter of 127 steps. When translated to modern measurements, this almost perfectly matches the Richat Structure. He spoke of a northern mountain range that protected the city from cold winds and a vast rectangular plain to the south. If you stand in the center of the Eye of the Sahara today, you will see the remains of mountains to the north and a colossal, flat plain stretching toward the horizon in the south. But how could a city in the middle of the desert be the legendary sunken kingdom? The answer lies in the radical transformation of our planet's geography. Thousands of years ago, the Sahara was not a desert. It was a lush green paradise filled with lakes, rivers, and diverse wildlife, a period known as the African Humid period. Geological evidence suggests that a massive cataclysmic event, possibly a megaflood or a sudden tectonic shift, caused the ocean to recede, leaving the structure isolated in a sea of sand. Ancient maps, like the world map of Herodotus, dating back to 450 BC, actually placed the kingdom of the Atlanteans exactly in this region of North Africa, near the Atlas Mountains. As we explore the center of the eye, we find something even more mysterious. Despite being hundreds of miles from the nearest coast, the area is littered with millions of seashells and volcanic salt crusts. This proves that at some point in the recent geological past, the Sahara was completely inundated by seawater. If Atlantis was destroyed by a massive tsunami or a displacement of the Earth's crust, the water would have eventually drained away, leaving behind the circular skeletons of a once great capital. Plato also mentioned that Atlantis was rich in red, black, and white stones. Today, the Richat Structure is composed of precisely those 3 colors of volcanic rock. The implications of this discovery are profound. If the Eye of the Sahara is indeed Atlantis, it means that the cradle of civilization is much older than we ever imagined. It suggests that a global maritime empire existed long before the dawn of ancient Egypt or Sumer. Some researchers believe that the survivors of the Atlantis cataclysm fled across the continent, bringing their advanced knowledge of astronomy, architecture, and agriculture to the Nile Valley. This would explain why the Egyptian civilization appeared so suddenly and with such a high level of sophistication. They weren't the beginning. They were the inheritance of a lost golden age. Why has mainstream archaeology ignored this site for so long? For decades, the Richat Structure was dismissed as a simple volcanic dome or an impact crater. But recent ground-level investigations have found evidence of ancient human activity, including thousands of Acheulean artifacts and stone tools scattered across the rings. Yet, no large-scale professional excavation has ever been conducted in the center of the eye. Is it possible that we are afraid of what we might find? If we discover the foundations of a city that matches Plato's description, we will have to rewrite every history book on the planet. We are living in an era where satellite imagery and modern geology are finally catching up with ancient legends. The Eye of the Sahara is a silent witness to a forgotten chapter of our story. It stands as a monumental reminder that the Earth is a volatile place, and that even the greatest empires can be erased by the forces of nature. As we analyze the salt-stained rocks and the circular ridges of Mauritania, the evidence becomes harder to ignore. We are not looking at a natural formation. We are looking at the ruins of a legend. Atlantis was never a ghost story. It was a real place, a target of a cosmic or terrestrial disaster that reset the clock of human progress. The Eye is watching, waiting for us to finally recognize our own lost history.